Hey, it's Kasim with Solutions 8. I just got off the phone with the head of our biz dev department. Shout out to Mike Kim. Me and Mike were honestly just rapping back and forth about the philosophy that is Google Ads. And it led to a conversation that I just thought was immensely important, and it was one that I wanted to share with our subscribers. Um, I'd like you, if you don't mind, just a brief academic exercise for a moment to think from Google's perspective. So you're a business owner and you own Google. And your entire goal now is to maximize profitability, because that's what all of our entire goal is. And Google is not short-sighted. So you want to maximize profitability in a long enough timeline. So if you look at the way that Google is structured, Google has a finite amount of inventory. And every search is, let's say, a unit of inventory, and every display placement is a unit. And what Google's trying to do is they're trying to figure out, and I can't prove this definitively, but I can tell you after years and years and years of running ads, this is what we see. Google is trying to figure out how to make the most amount of money, obviously, off of the available inventory. And the way that you do that is you take the competitors, the clients, the customers that you would have that are interested in bidding on that inventory, and you try to maximize the value and the potential there. And so, let's say, just for using a random industry, let's say that you're a veterinarian in Portland, Oregon, and there's 4 competitors that all want to bid on this same spot. What Google wants to do is they don't want to maximize the efficacy of your ads as the veterinarian. They want to take all 5 of these potential customers, and they want to try to divvy up this pie in a way that keeps everybody advertising and exhausts their entire inventory at the maximum rate of profitability, right? That's what I would do. That's what you would do. This puts us at a disadvantage, though, because Google controls your bids. Google controls how you run your campaign, especially because all of us are moving so heavily into automated bid strategies. And so what's happening is Google's not out there to maximize the efficacy of your campaign. Google's out there to maximize the value of their inventory. And so if there are 4 competitors out there, Google wants your campaigns to be successful, obviously, because they want you to continue to spend. But they only need your campaign to be as successful as is minimally necessary in order to keep you spending. And once they've achieved that, then the ideal scenario for an organization like Google, as far as I can see it, would be to make sure that they're making additional inventory available to other competitors. So A, they can continue to stoke the competitive market and drive prices up, and then B, diversify their customer set and, again, maximize the value of this inventory. What does this mean? This means that you don't want to take Google's recommendations wholesale. I'm not telling you not to use automated bid strategies. At the moment, they seem to be the most effective and advantageous. But Google's goal and your goal are not mutually exclusive, but they're disassociated. You want to maximize the value of your spend. Google wants to maximize the value of their inventory. And you have to run your campaigns with that in mind. So even when we're using automated bid strategies, that doesn't mean that you have to use Google's the entire rest of the recommendations wholesale. That's why Google will come to you and say, hey, you can increase bids here. There's additional space there. There's these competitors here. There's expanded keywords here, more search terms, et cetera, et cetera. What they're trying to do is, again, not necessarily improve your campaign as much as maximize the value of their own inventory. So every recommendation that Google makes should be viewed through that lens. This isn't necessarily a recommendation to improve my campaign. At least that's not the first goal. The recommendation here is based on Google's want and desire to maximize the value of their inventory. And when you start viewing things through that lens, it makes so much sense. It makes so much sense because you begin to realize, like, I know the search terms that perform for me. I know the geographic regions that perform for me. I know the placements more or less that perform. And Google's recommendations start to appear to be at odds with that understanding, even from a data-driven perspective, meaning Google's making recommendations that don't appear to align from what Google would be able to see sans analog data. So as you're running these building and running these campaigns, know that it's you versus Google. That's the name of my course, by the way, you versus Google. And that's the reason, because when Google's optimizing a campaign, it's really important for you to know what it is that they're optimizing. That's why they love maximize conversions. Every freaking Google consultant you're ever on the phone with says, oh, go use maximize conversions. That's because if you think about it from a bid strategy perspective, that's probably the bid strategy that's going to give them the most effective use of their own inventory, because it basically says, more or less all conversions are created equal, and I've got these 5 competitors, and I've got the capability of producing whatever number of conversions I'm capable of, and if I can maximize the number of conversions per competitor, regardless of the nuances associated with that, then Google's going to maximize its own inventory, which is not in your best interest. So I realize this is kind of a higher level conversation. I don't know how much of this resonates. So you tell me, point my muzzle for me. If you like this and you want to hear more of it, great. If you don't, tell me to piss off, and I'll start just going back into the Google Ads dashboard and teaching all good stuff there. We're almost at 3,000 subscribers, y'all. It's amazing. It's amazing, and it's flattering, and the comments that we get, and the folks that are writing in, and the friends that we've made, like, super grateful for all of you. Neither John nor I had any sense that this would take off the way that it has. Really it started as a place to just go lob content that we could use for clients and prospects. But the fact that we're getting real leads out of this, and, earning real customers out of it. And we've gotten some speaking gigs and amazing strategic partners. I'm just so excited and humbled and flattered and grateful, and all those words that people make up and don't always use correctly. But I mean it. So thank you for watching. If you've subscribed, thank you for subscribing. Apparently that's the biggest key performance indicator in the eyes of YouTube as to whether or not we get prioritized. So if you'd like to get more of this content, please subscribe. And other than that, we shoot a video every day. So I'm going to see you tomorrow. Thanks for watching.